This is the latest Honda Jazz, and we like it very much. But there's one thing in particular that makes it perfect. Let me explain.
Right, let's get one thing out the way first. The Jazz has always attracted a more mature customer base. So a few years ago, the average age of a Jazz driver was 61, and older drivers love the great visibility, the high seating position, and dependable reliability. The trouble is, all of that stuff is just a bit dull. And with this latest version, Honda is hoping to entice younger buyers.
I mean, design-wise, you still got the same upright shape, and it's just slightly cuter and friendlier than before. I'm not going to lie. When we were told that we were going to be booking a Honda Jazz and I was going to get to keep it for the week, my brain went, oh no, I don't want to have one of them. But actually, this turned up and I was pleasantly surprised by it. This is probably the coolest Honda Jazz I think I've ever seen, probably thanks to like the tinted rear windows, etc. But you still got the bug-eyed headlights, the Corsa-like windows here that are very good for visibility. But no, in terms of design, it's not bad.
Unfortunately, the Jazz looks quite generic when you go further back. It's slab-sided and the rear looks like it could be from a different brand entirely. Still, it's better than the old one, especially from behind the wheel.
Right, so from now on, the Honda Jazz only comes as a hybrid. So you've got a 1.5 litre petrol engine with 2 electric motors that combined make 108 brake horsepower and has 253 Newton meters of torque. And do you know what? For a small car, it's quick enough. I mean, it'll do 0 to 62 in well under 10 seconds. And actually the hybrid side of things means that when you pull away, it feels just that little bit quicker, which is quite nice. Now you can drive this in full EV mode or hybrid mode or full combustion engine mode. When it's in EV mode, it's very nice and very quiet, like silent, lovely. When the engine kicks in though, it can get a little bit noisy. When I was on the M25 coming here today, the road noise and the wind noise was quite loud. Not horrendously loud, but loud.
Right, the new Jazz can only be had with an eCVT automatic gearbox, which does mean that it's a doddle to drive around town. Things can become a touch noisy under acceleration, but refinement is pretty good otherwise. You can quite easily get more than 60 miles per gallon out of it too. Very nice.
Now look, let's be honest, if you're going to be buying a Honda Jazz, you're probably not going to be taking it on twisty, turny B roads. You're not going to be itching to take it out cruising and whipping it round corners. I mean, if you do, it's still pretty good at it. I mean, a Ford Fiesta is a lot more fun, but this doesn't embarrass itself at all when you whiz it round corners. It feels quite safe and secure, really. Let's see how we deal with this corner here. It feels it's quite stable. That's not bad at all. Very nice Honda, very, very nice. One thing I will point out is the ride is a bit of an annoyance. We would recommend going for the smaller 15-inch wheels if you can, because as soon as you step up, let's just say, ladies, you're going to need a more supportive bra, if that makes sense. It kind of throws you about a little bit.
We'll talk about all the funky tech inside later, but first, listen to this. This is a quote from an Auto Express reader who owns one of these, and it says, "The Jazz's rear seats are brilliant if you need to carry awkward items, such as potted plants or children's bikes." Huh, potted plants, did you say?
Right, it's raining. This might be the perfect car for garden centres. Stay with me, because not only do the doors open super duper wide, but the space back here is incredible. So you've got 305 litres of boot space, but that doesn't really matter because the party piece is in the rear seats. Now when you fold them down completely flat, you've got 1,205 litres, which is more than a Clio, more than a Fiesta. But have a look at these magic seats. Come with me. Look at this. Ta-da! And then, oh, stunning! Yes, let's do the other side. Living the dream. Look at this. Fantastic.
So, the Jazz is pretty much perfect for, gardeners. But what's it like up front?
Now in here, this is quite a nice, quirky layout in a way. I mean, it's got a touch of the Honda-Ease about it, mostly because of the steering wheel. But no, everything in here, I quite like it in a way. I wish there was a splash of colour, but I quite like it. There are twisty-do dials for the climate control. Thank you, Honda. We love twisty-doos. Now here we've got a 7-inch screen, which has your instrument cluster, your speed and your fuel, etc. Nice and straightforward. Lovely. 9-inch screen here for the infotainment, which, again, so simple and straightforward. DAB radio, sat-nav, it's responsive enough. We've got wireless Apple CarPlay. I'm not complaining. Everything in here feels quite well built. Got a couple of cup holders up here, look. Oh, and just a random cubby there.
So, the Jazz is a perfectly respectable little car. There's nothing spectacular going on here, but hey, if you want to carry a yucca plant in an adorable frugal package, you could do worse than one of these.